G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tuckerwood, Marks Point, with this Friday's fishing report. Nice and sunny at the moment. If I look to the south, big black cloud coming along. Might be a few showers while we do this report. Forecast for basically the weekend and into next week, southeast winds. And look, you're going to get these periods where the sun will come out, there will be no showers or rain, and in fact the wind will actually back off, and then as these little fronts come through, it'll again just start to rain and blow. So you're just going to have to bear with it. There's plenty of coverage within Lake Macquarie to get out of the weather, but it's just going to make it a little bit tougher this week. Salts Bay in particular, looking pretty good. There's a fair few bream in Salts Bay at the moment. Now what's actually happening, we've got a lot of surface activity around the island. Bonito, a lot of little mac tuna as well, some frigate mackerel mixed in with some tailor. On these early mornings and run-in tides, these fish are actually moving into areas such as Salts Bay, in and around Lucy's, and as far up as the bridge, where there's even been a few macs and small bonito caught at Swansea Bridge. Been a few kingies also at Swansea Bridge as well. Not a lot of size. The better kings have been in the lake itself for the guys that are prepared to troll with either live yellowtail or indeed some live squid. But plenty of whiting still on the flats, and there's some really nice bream getting caught. So you've just got to try to get out there and persevere, put a raincoat on if you need to, and try to find a nice spot. Some really nice mulloway around also in the lake, and still plenty of flathead, and a lot of flathead still in the channel itself, but they are starting to spread out a little bit as we now start to get into February. Last weekend, of course, we had the Big Fish Bonanza out of Lake Macquarie, a very tough tournament. It was really blowing on Saturday, and then of course Sunday, totally different with just no wind whatsoever. 27.4 degree water on the shelf and about 3.5 to 4 knots of current. It was very, very difficult. 4 marlin caught, 22 boats participated, 4 black marlin, short-billed spearfish, there's a few dolphin fish tagged. We were able to tag a couple of nice dollies, but very, very tough, and it's just an indication of what's happening on that far out offshore situation. One of the bonuses that the guys had, there was a few shark fishermen and drifting in and around the farm, and look, to be honest, there was some beautiful snapper caught on the farm last weekend. Some of these fish are easily up to 4 kilo, and the guys were just physically drifting along and picking up some cracking fish. So it's great to see, and once this weather starts to abate towards the end of next week, the farm is probably a place to go and have a bit of a crack. There wasn't a lot of current, water's pretty good, around about 22.9, but some beautiful snapper in the deep water. There has been still a few trag and a few small reds in close, but look, if you want a better fish, that deep water certainly has got a lot more to offer. There's not a lot of dolphin fish on the fat, and what fish are there are only very, very small. I often think that we've probably got to wait about another 4 to 6 weeks and we'll start to see some better dolphin fish around those fads or those fish trap areas. On the beaches, look, we've seen that real increase in tailor over the last week, which is great to see, the odd salmon, but there's been some beautiful tailor, and some of these tailor 1.5 kilos or better, and that's what we talked about last week with our report. We were already starting to see some of these big tailor come into the lake. Well, now they're all along the beaches, and even the offshore angle on the shallow reefs have been picking them up. There's still plenty of whiting around, and still now a few bream. But look, you know, you've just got to try to mix it up a little bit. And as I say, you're going to have to be a bit patient. You can see it now. It's getting overcast. The showers are just sort of around us. So I just think you've just got to persevere and try to get out there. Now, this week's Fish of the Week ZEREK winner is, of course, Blake Marriott. Now, Blake and his father, they went down to Swansea Bridge on Tuesday, spun up a small kingy, and Blake got his first mac tuna. It wasn't a big mac tuna, but it was his first. And of course, they've made a real resurgence over the last few years, the mac tuna. Years ago gone by, they were fairly plentiful and they just dropped right off the face of the earth. Now they're making a resurgence, but that's indeed what you can anticipate. Blake, come down and get your ZEREK fish traps. I'll see you next week.